We don't just knock companies here on the Cows channel. We talk about the good news too. This is a Cow's opinion. Catchphrase! We don't have one. It's a channel on a budget. What do you want to do? But hey, welcome back to the Cows channel for a Cow's opinion on this wonderful weekend. It's finally getting cold, except here in Texas where it's going to get hot again for another week because Texas don't give a care. It just doesn't, guys. But I hope you all having a wonderful time. Thank you, as always, for liking and commenting and subscribing because the channel is growing decently over the past couple months. I really appreciate it. And because I appreciate it, I want to try to find, like I said, a little more positive news. A little more positive. We need positive Pete, not negative Nancy on this channel. And one of the ways we're doing that is we're still looking at Blizzard. Now, Microsoft finished its $69 billion acquisition of Activision and Blizzard earlier this year. So this BlizzCon 2023 is very important. If you don't know what BlizzCon is, it's actually kind of fun. It is where Blizzard just has a huge convention center and fans attend, and it's a convention for a single video game company. It's like E3 but very, very focused. And they like to show a lot of the cool stuff that we'll be doing over the next year and beyond. And this year, I would say, is a very important BlizzCon because people have been talking about how, Blizzard's been lost in the sauce and doing worse with the monetization and their games and everything. It's only been a few weeks since Microsoft bought them, so we are not going to have like a true focus of how Blizzard's going to be run now they're part of the Big X family. However, as we've already pointed out, it's a little curious that Blizzard and Activision have been separated in a lot of marketing stuff since Microsoft bought them. Microsoft has called Blizzard the Pixar of gaming, which gives me and other people a lot of hope that maybe these guys will be allowed to just make great games again in these wonderful worlds that we like to play. And the first glance at that was at BlizzCon 2023. Now, I got to watch the opening ceremony. Don't tell my bosses at my day job. But there were some things that made me think, I wonder if they've already been given a little more freedom. So I would like to look at that because it's today and tomorrow. We used to be all weekend, but I guess it's just 2 days. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 2 days of live broadcast, and then the third day is probably just, everyone's just hanging out, having fun. So, as always, their opening ceremony is where they unleash all of the news. So you don't have to worry about tuning in all weekend for like the trailers and the big announcements. They do them all in their opening ceremony. A lot of people like this because that way you don't have to like keep up freaking an entire like 40-hour period. You can just watch the opening ceremony, and then you can decide what panels and events you might want to keep up with over the weekend. Maybe there's some really cool stuff on WoW. But guys, they had announcements for World of Warcraft, Diablo 4, Hearthstone, Warcraft Rumble, which was Arclight originally, and now it's just Rumble, and Overwatch 2. It's a lot, so let's just take a quick minute, and let's give Blizzard the benefit of a doubt as we look at the newest stuff. Because first of all, no, Disney has not decided to go PG-13 on The Secret to Moana. This is the newest hero, the Samoan tank Muaga, I believe it's pronounced, which means mountain in his native tongue. He is a dual chain gun wielding hero. He looked slightly overpowered in the trailer, but with these kind of games, they tend to try to anchor the heroes a bit high, especially when you battle pass or gacha games. You want to anchor them a little high, and then you want to lower their power level as you go on. Because if you accidentally release a hero who's not very powerful, they're going to be dropped from the meta almost immediately. So they're letting you try him out this weekend. He looked fun, kind of a safe choice, but because they were already teasing this hero of this background, but he looked fun. I'm sure Overwatch 2 players will like him. They also have a new PvP game mode called Clash, which is a 5-point capture game mode. And that was not, they didn't show anything, so that looked good too. They're completely redoing competitive play and rewards. And he also has themes for the upcoming seasons: Eldritch Horror, Egyptian mythology, witches, and a mirror universe where heroes become villains and villains become heroes. I'm guessing that might have been more story-related content before they dropped a lot of the story-related content, but, you know. They also went ahead and teased the two heroes after on Big Mountain of a Chain Gun Wielding Man coming next year. A damaged hero, Venture, who is right here, in Season 10, and the new support hero currently codenamed Space Ranger right here. So, they didn't really show anything. I think they said they might go a little more deeper on the Space Ranger over the weekend, which is a little weird because Venture is the one coming a lot sooner. But that is Overwatch 2, and it's kind of I mean, it's not like they're failing on all themes or anything, but, you know, Overwatch 2 has a lot of problems with the monetization, player base, and balance. I don't know, and something like this we have to set so far in, it's going to take a little longer to see if they can turn out of that. Next up, though, Diablo 4 had their first expansion announced, the Vessel of Hatred. Had a teaser trailer, or announced trailer as they call it, and let me tell you, it was literally just an announce. You're going back to the jungles in this one. They also teased Season 3, which will include a new type of weekly challenge called the Gauntlet. But the biggest news was the Vessel of Hatred. Players will visit a jungle region new to Diablo 4, once again faced Mephisto, because, you know, the prime evils never die. I don't know why they don't have prime virtues or heaven or something. Well, they have a heaven, but, you know, like God or something to help out. And get access to a completely new class never seen before in the Diablo universe, says the production director Tiffany Watt. And let me tell you something, that, of course, Diablo 4 has really stumbled out of the gate, so I'm hoping they can turn it around. Personally, the biggest disappointment for me with Diablo 4, no monk class, no crusader class. No, they dropped all of the holy classes. And I don't know if they're like saving it for expansions or story purposes, but it's weird that you're carrying all these demons and you can't go to church, man. You've got the closest thing you got is the demon hunter, but they all get portrayed a lot more as merc for hire. So, look, again, Diablo 4 really has really seen its player numbers drop. They made a lot of poor decisions. They said during the ceremony they've been hearing what players have to say, and we'll see as they put out new patches. Things that they went over is like there'll be a gearbox for your inventory every single town now, and that they're going to change a lot of ways that stuff carries over. So we'll see. Maybe Diablo 4 can be improved in the future. But there was a lot of cheering for World of Warcraft Classic. Because as you can see now, ladies and gentlemen, Cataclysm is coming. It was one of the biggest expansions World of Warcraft has ever had. But they're also getting a new way to play hardcore mode coming next year. If you don't know, hardcore mode is where you die and your character is wiped. You can't get what they were carrying. You lose them forever. It is really dangerous if you don't believe in your internet connection. But they are having the updated expansion of the Cataclysm, and that it will include changes based on player feedback. Also coming up, they're going to have Vanilla WoW with a spicy twist, which is the Season of Discovery. New secrets and class-altering abilities. They tease things like a mage hero or a tanking warlock would be a possibility. And that's coming later this month on the 30th, so we will see. World of Warcraft Classic is one of the bright spots in Blizzard. People really love it. And so I feel like they're just continuing the hits and the home runs that they're getting with this. So it's good to see that they're still pumping it out. Speaking of World of Warcraft, not next expansion, next expansions. Now I know the cinematic set was for the War Within, but Chris Metzen, executive creative director and longtime hero to Blizzard fans everywhere, took center stage and talked about storytelling. Now WoW regular, it's been Dragonflight and the couple expansions before it, not the most well received. Not terrible, But especially with Final Fantasy XIV starting to plant the hearts and minds of MMO gamers everywhere, WoW has a lot of catching up to do. And they are doing the ambitious plan to chart the next 2 decades to start not with an expansion, with a saga. What they're calling the World Soul Saga. And this one is really interesting to me because it's not an expansion, it's the next 3 expansions. First comes the War Within, which will send players to the subterranean kingdom, Nerubian Empire, to dispense justice, as you do. Then comes Midnight, which is a return to the old world, sending players to the fabled lands of Quel'Thalas to battle the forces of the Void, the evil Void. Apparently it was even more evil than Sargeras, which, look, that's part of the problem people have had with World of Warcraft. Every single expansion, no, I was the villain who was manipulating Sargeras. Haha, I was the villain who was manipulating the villain who was manipulating Sargeras. No, I, the jailer, am the villain who manipulated the villain who manipulated the villain who was manipulating Sargeras. And it was, it's not quite it. So the Void is going to be in the second one. And he was teasing that maybe things don't go to plan for the final expansion of this trilogy, The Last Titan. Players will bear witness to the Titans of Azeroth, uncovering a vast conspiracy that stretches through the history of the world and reveals the true nature of the Titans. Which, man, I hope it's not something lame like it's the Celestials in the MCU. Well, they destroy the planet where they're born, so oops. I don't think they're going to do something that stupid. I feel like that would be really dumb and lame. And I think Blizzard is using this to try to step up their MMO game and compete better with Final Fantasy XIV. Now, first expansion is going to be released next year. It will be the 10th expansion ever released for the longest running, most popular MMO in history. So that's important. Meanwhile, we have the smaller games, but still pretty good. We have Hearthstone. So the senior game designer Core Grogu, showed off the trailer for Showdown in the Badlands, which is the expansion which takes place in Azeroth's... My mouse just got really oddly... it's not very... Look at this. But it takes place in Azeroth's version of the Wild West and tells the origin story for characters Reno Jackson and Elise Starseeker. They've also revealed that they know a lot of people have been dropping off or coming in and out. So they have catch-up packs. No, it's not something you get with your burger. Which are game-changing for getting collection caught up because players can get up to 50 cards from a single pack. Now, I don't know why it's up to 50. Maybe it's random. But we'll have to see. They also have a new mode coming to the Battlegrounds called Battleground Duos, which is a cooperative way to play. I think it's 2-on-2. But yeah, the Hearthstone makes a lot of money. I know it's not as massively popular as when we focused a lot on it here on the Cows channel, but it's still there, and it's still making money, so, they're going to do it. And finally, Warcraft Rumble, a game that I'm actually going to try on my phone and kind of wish I could play on my PC easily because I would really like to. But Blizzard's mobile action strategy combat game, it's basically Clash for Clans, if you don't know what that means. Which harkens back to their RTS roots. Why don't you just make an RTS, damnation? But it's actually out now. It looks kind of fun. And Season 1 will kick off with a new tabletop mini version of Sylvanas Windrunner, longtime favorite villain of World of Warcraft. So what do I think? Well, guys, there was not any earth-shattering announcements unless you're a huge MMO fan, which maybe the World Soul Saga is maybe good, maybe bad. It's going to be many years and a lot of stuff. So we'll have to wait and see. Overwatch needs to pull it out, so we'll see that. Diablo 4 needs to really improve itself as well, so we'll see that. And if you think it's a coincidence that the 2 newest games of Blizzard are the ones that need to do the most work, you haven't been paying attention to our complaints on the channel very much, have you? Classic is still bumping along. World of Warcraft looks like it wants to hit the next gear. Hearthstone's still bumping along, and Warcraft Rumble looks to be the next big thing in mobile gaming, giving them yet another game to play. Now, if you're like me, you've noticed one of their worlds is missing. Nothing about StarCraft. Now, I don't know if that's because whatever they're doing next in the StarCraft universe is just not far along enough, or if it's because they just don't have anything for StarCraft except continuing to patch 2 for competitive. But I would like to hope that next year we get some information on StarCraft, because it's really weird that one of the big pillars of Blizzard has nothing. Nada. Zip. It's been that way for a while too, guys. I don't know if they're having tournaments for StarCraft 2 during BlizzCon. They have tournaments for everything, so I'm guessing they do. But unfortunately, that is what we're going to have to just deal with right now. StarCraft is just not there yet. It was one of the 3 big pillars until Overwatch came along as the 4th. So we'll have to see. The StarCraft universe is huge. Did not like how they ended StarCraft 2. So maybe they just don't know how to write it next. But yeah, Blizzard has this really weird thing with Warcraft and StarCraft. They just continuously... Well, now we don't have any villains. Everybody's a hero, and though it's okay to have villainous races. We want sometimes. It's okay to be the bad guy. But my opinion on BlizzCon 2023, not the best I've ever seen, but not the worst. It was probably way too sudden for Microsoft's acquisition for any major changes to happen. What we really got to do is we really got to wait for BlizzCon 2024. It will have been a year since the purchase. They'll really be able to do what they want, get what they want, have it done. So we're going to see the storytelling, but you're also going to start seeing it early next year too, now that Activision's not in any charge. So this is hopeful for the future, but not betting on anything. You guys, let me know down in the comments, how many Blizzard games do you play? Which of these do you play? Were you upset by the lack of StarCraft 2? Or are you Warcraft or Diablo or Overwatch? Which of these games do you want to play or give a try based on what they revealed? And, just tell me what you think about BlizzCon. Do you think I'm being too harsh? Do you think I'm giving the hopeful tone that they signal too much credit? Let me know down in the comments. And you know what else you can do besides the comments? Oh, yes. You can always do this, my friends. You can play more games! Because games are awesome, and you, yes, you even sitting there on the couch, you deserve more awesome. And I'll see you next time.